Okay, go.
Okay, the SRI information is critical when we are doing an IEP because it provides a place for parents to understand where their child's cognition is, and also it drives the conversation as to where we need to go. You get a present level of performance, and the parent understands that this is where their child's weaknesses are and their cognitive deficits are, and that helps us to move the conversation so that we can move the child's academic performance and academic progress. In the conference, in the parent-teacher conference, it was a game changer for me because a parent was not, and the child was not understanding why it was so critical to do rudimentary things in the classroom. Bring your book every day. Write down your notes, because if you are performing significantly below grade level, I mean, we're talking about 3 or 4 grade levels in reading below your chronological grade, then that makes it's paramount that you do some things that make it routine to change those numbers, because it's not going to be automatic. Reading just doesn't work like that. So when the parents saw that their child was reading literally at a 5th, 6th grade level, that changed the whole conversation. Then the parent understood that it can't just be the school, it can't just be the teachers, that all the stakeholders are at play. The child has to do something different, and the parents are going to have to insist that the child do something different. So it made everyone realize that we all a participant. We all have our little part to play. So that changed the whole dynamic. The parent really understood having a number and a grade level to go along with their reading. That let the parent know exactly, and it's arbitrary. It wasn't anything that I produced on my own. It was something that was tested beyond me. So you had a third party person or entity that was bringing this information to bear, and who didn't have any investment in the conference. And so once you can present that and say, okay, this was your child's score on this date, this is what we're projecting for the future, if we put these things consistently in place, that changes the whole dynamic, because when you have a plan based on information, then you can move forward. And so I think that's critical, and it's critical even in my IEP meetings. It's important. You can put a number, and you can develop a plan around a number and a specific area of need. And then the final thing is when I have my conferences with my students, sometimes the reality of where they are pulls them back into the process, because sometimes there's a very elevated sense of self, but then when you have this number right here before you, and again, they took the test, they remember taking the test, they know that it was their abilities that brought to bear, or if they didn't take the test serious, then again, this is what we got. So then when I have to say, okay, well, this is where we're going to be instructing you from, this is what we're building a lesson around, then, well, I didn't participate, I was just putting down anything. Well, this is what happens when you put down anything. This is what we're left with, because I didn't know you were putting down anything, because that wasn't my direction. My direction was never go into the computer and just go put down anything. My directions were specifically, you go, you do your best, and the computer is going to give me a result. Well, this is what I have, and this is what we're working from. So then when they have the next opportunity to demonstrate their skill level, then hopefully they remember what was the last result from just doing whatever, or what was the last result, period, and they'll try harder and do their very best. So it just kind of helps. It's a threefold thing. It really reaches all of the stakeholders, and I think that it's really essential to have information, to drive instruction, to drive those academic conversations, because without the data, without just the hard facts, basically you're just having,